You want to ask?
All right.
First of all, how you doing, my brother? No, first of all, let's listen straight up. We don't shake, we press hands. Just sleep.
Oh, okay.
Right? So what happens is the hand press shows stability, firm
Okay.
foundation. So, you know, the way of our forefathers, we just don't shake, just press. Sleep. There you go.
Okay.
That's how Moorish Americans people know.
Okay.
It's called the hand press. So let me try it again. How you doing, my brother? What?
I'll keep
Oh, what
shaking
happened?
it.
Is I want to look at right? Praise on there. There we go. Now, what can I do for you? What would you like to know?
I just have some questions of how you guys tied into the ancient Kemetic way of life, because that's what I'm reading on right now, and that's what I was.
My bad. Okay, so what happens is, first of all, our nationality is Moorish American.
Mm-hmm.
We're descendants of ancient Moroccans, they're born in America. When you research the history of the ancient Moors, you'll find out that the Moors, having descended from a group of people called the ancient Moabites, right? So the ancient Moabites came, they were granted permission from the pharaohs of Egypt, right, through successive dynasties, to come in and learn all the wisdom of the ancient Egyptians, even though they had their own culture. When you come into someone's land, you have to learn their laws, so on and so forth. So they came in, they were brought, they were taught all these sciences and so on and so forth. Then they were given permission to go westward and establish kingdoms for themselves. So the lands we know now as Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Tunisia, so on and so forth. This was from the working together of the ancient Moors and the ancient Egyptians. So when they spread westward, they started, when they set these kingdoms up, they took the sciences that were taught to them in Egypt and spread them westward. What began to happen subsequent was the Romans began to come in and invade Egypt. There was, two Roman emperors, specifically one named Theodosius and another named Justinian. What they did was they were responsible for closing down the Egyptian temples and the Egyptian mystery system and hunting down anyone that basically was practicing the sciences. Okay? So what happens is, we have my bag? Thank you. So there's a book entitled Stolen Legacy. This book right here, Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. Inside of here, he talks about, right here, it says, let's take it to the top. As mentioned elsewhere, the Egyptian mysteries and the philosophical schools of Greece were closed by the edicts of Theodosius in the 4th century AD and that of Justinian in the 6th century AD. And as a consequence, intellectual darkness spread over Christian Europe and the Greco-Roman world for 10 centuries, 1,000 years, during which time knowledge had disappeared. As stated elsewhere, the Greeks showed no creative powers and were unable to improve upon the knowledge which they had received from the Egyptians. During the Persian, Greek, and Roman invasions, large numbers of Egyptians fled not only to the desert and mountain regions, but also to the adjacent lands in Africa, Arabia, and Asia Minor, where they lived and secretly developed the teachings which belonged to their mystery system. In the 8th century AD, the Moors, i.e. natives of Mauritania and northern Africa, invaded Spain and took with them the Egyptian culture which they had preserved. Okay? Knowledge in those ancient days was centralized, i.e. it belonged to a common parent and system, i.e. the wisdom teachings or mysteries of Egypt, which the Greeks used to call Sophia. As such, the people of North Africa were the neighbors of the Egyptians and became the custodians of the Egyptian culture, which they spread through considerable portions of Africa, Asia Minor, and Europe. And what they don't talk about is the Americas too. During the occupation of Spain, the Moors displayed with considerable credit the grandeur of African culture and civilization. The schools and libraries which they established became famous throughout the medieval world. Science and learning were cultivated and taught. The schools of Cordova, Toledo, Seville, and Saragossa these were all colleges, attained such celebrity that they, like their parent Egypt, attracted students from all parts of the Western world, and from them arose the most famous African professors the world has ever known in medicine, surgery, astronomy, and mathematics. And it just goes on. But the point is, it shows that, once the Egyptian system had been dismantled, and occupied by these Romans, these Europeans, and the ancient Egyptians began to, to flee and go to different lands, the Moors picked up where they left off. They kept teaching them science.
You guys are the keepers.
No doubt, we are the teachers.
We are the keepers.
Because your nationality is Moorish American as well. You just have to learn about it.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. The Moors were, if we go over to the map, the Moorish Empire was found to be all of northern Africa, northwestern Africa, Southern Europe, North, Central, South America, and all of the adjoining islands. So all of that was the Moorish Empire. And that's being generous, because if we were really, to really point it out, it extended as far as China.
I've heard a rumor that the Moors were actually the first to have a kingdom set up in the UK.
Well, actually what happens is, there's a book called Ancient and Modern Britons by David McRitchie, right? He's a Scottish individual, and what he did was he dug up all this information about the ancient Moors. When he did that, one of the summaries that he came up with was that there's no point that you can see where it can be shown that the Moors entered the UK, which means as far back as written history could go, the Moors were always there. In fact, you know what the word is for land in England? Moor. I'm going to get a moor of land, a plot of a moor,
No.
Yeah, it's called, yeah, exactly. So, again, because we were the rulers of the land, so they even named the land after us. If you were to take an entire ship to a dock, it's called mooring the boat, tying it to the dock so it doesn't float off, because the Moors were the ancient navigators as well.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So a part of all of this, is a part of your ancient heritage. And see, the thing is, about the Europeans, how they did things, they didn't destroy the Moorish history and legacy because they needed it. Because you gotta remember, they came out of barbarity. They were in the Dark Ages, so they didn't have anything. So to destroy it would be to send themselves back into the Dark Ages. So what they did was they created a codified system. Well, we taught them a codified system called Freemasonry, right? And swore, because you gotta remember, the main European empire that we were against was called the Catholic Church, or the Roman Empire. That's what we've been fighting for about the past 2,000 years. Non-stop. One of the things that could have gotten a person beheaded back in those days was breaking away from the church way of doing things.
Yeah, and they would have 2 to 3 individuals, and they would put them up, and they would have them on stakes and burn them in front of everybody just to make an example, which is not supposed to be the way of power.
That's right. And see, that's called the Inquisitions, right? And the Inquisitions was dealing with hunting down anybody that still practiced the sciences taught by the Moors. You understand what I'm saying? So in other words, the Moors ruled Spain from 711 to 1492. Lost power in 1492 and was still present in Spain until 1610. From 1492 to 1610 and even afterwards, the Moors were forcibly made Christians, specifically Catholics. Our names were taken from us. The first names we were given were Spanish names, not English. Right? So yeah, brothers, Gonzalez, Rodriguez, so on and so forth. Those are the first names that were placed on the Moors, like as far as, European identifier names, family names, okay? And then once, Spain lost to England, then our names became English, you see? So, if we could take another walk over here, I'd like to introduce you to somebody. It's one of your ancestors right here. You know who this man is, right? You never seen him before day in your life? Okay. Let me ask you a question before I get to who he is. Have you ever heard of Dr. Martin Luther King?
Yes.
Harriet Tubman?
Yes.
Frederick Douglass?
Yes.
Okay. But you've never heard of this man. Before I tell you who he is, you want to know why you never heard of him? You never heard of him because the thing that he brought was the thing that could free you. The thing that he brought was the thing that can make you an active citizen in this government. The thing that he brought you made you realize that the government you're standing in is your government. You're not a foreigner in this government. You're not a descendant of a slave. It's a lie. Okay? Your forefathers were in bondage, they weren't slaves. Slave is a whole other word. Slave comes from Slavic. You've heard of Yugoslavia?
Yeah.
Those were Europeans, had nothing to do with it. Our forefathers were in bondage. But this man right here, his name is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Or some would say Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali was the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's what you're standing in now. That's where we meet. Every Friday, and we go over the lessons, and the instructions given to us by our prophet. Okay, the flag back there on the right. It's the Moorish flag, the red flag with the green 5-pointed star in the center.
Yeah.
Brother Muzaka, you can hold that up, please. Red flag with the green 5-pointed star in the center. The 5 points represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Hold it. Keep it up, more. Keep it up. Thank you, more. Those are the 5 highest principles known to man, right? Each point is 72 degrees apart from the next. 72 times 5 is 360 degrees, right? The red represents war. The green represents love, right? So love is where we want to be. right? Love, we want to be within the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. But we lost those when our forefathers got taken into bondage. So the prophet had to return the flag, because the flag represents our principles. All right? And the next flag more. All right? That's the American flag, also known as the Stars and Stripes. All right? This represents the flag of our birth. All free nationals of the planet have to fly, that are in America, have to fly two flags. They have to fly one of their descent to show where they descended from, and they have to show one, fly one that represents their birth, the geographical location where they were born. Okay? So this represents the flag of our birth. The other flag represents the flag of our descent. Right? And with both of them being there, that makes us Moorish American.
Okay.
If you go to an Italian restaurant, you'll see what the Italian flag on the right, and you see the American flag to the left, because they're what? Italian American. Exactly. Right?
Oh, okay.
So their rights as citizens fall under the flag he just held up.
So basically, the flag is like, I'm not.
Come on, however you want to put it.
It's like a bandana.
Okay. Exactly.
It's like a bandana.
Mm-hmm.
So
break that down, brother. Don't they call that a flag?
Yeah. You a Crip.
Mm-hmm.
But
come on.
Dark purple.
Right.
You gangster.
Okay. That's right.
Powder blue.
That's right.
You 60.
That's right.
So wherever you from, and then some have brown flags
That's
too.
right.
But most Crips, that they bounce, they move from place to place, they will always keep their blue flag.
That's right.
Say they roll over to the 60, they always gonna keep both flags to show that they were gangster first. 60 second.
That's right.
So that's basically what this is.
But see, that's how the same principle, higher ideal.
Yeah.
Because what happens, a truce for our people in this day and time to make it permanent is nationality. Right?
Yes.
Because somebody asks you, what's your nationality? And you get to running off, I'm black, start naming off colors.
Yeah, that's not a nationality.
That's not.
Just
that's actually a slave label. When you call yourself black, it's a property label. In other words, this chair is black. I bought this chair. I own it. If I want to take this chair and throw it out the door, I can do that. Right? Because it's my property. If you call yourself black, somebody came up with that to call people. You call yourself that, they own you. You understand what I'm saying? But you gotta stand up on your square, right? And tell people that you're not Negro, black, color, or Ethiopian, but you're a descendant of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the shores of northwestern and the southwestern shores of Africa, right? And modern day, you call yourself a Moorish American, right? More our people will come under that flag, because that flag right there is older than blood, it's older than Crip, it's older than Stone, it's older than GB, it's older than all of that. The flag is over 10,000 years old, right? And that flag goes back to when we were in power. See what I'm saying? When the European nations came to us to learn civilization, right?
They needed it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? When there was no soap in Europe, and they was dying from the Black Plague, from filth, we came in with soap and cleaned it up. That type of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So they look at us, when they see you with your flag on, they can identify a starting point for that. They know that came out of a period of time where, we were struggling with our identity and who we were, right? They see me with one of these on. He go, uh-oh. I mean, he should. So then they'll come to you and ask you questions. Speaking, well, I'm a Moorish American. Right? Because he knows who the Moors are, because the Moors taught him civilization. You see? So in order to change things for our people, you gotta invoke an idea that's older than the slavery era. You see what I'm saying? Older than us warring back and forth, killing each other and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when we was teaching civilization and culture to the planet, that's what Moorish represents. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Prophet Noble Ali brought us. Look at this right here. This was 8 years after Noble Drew Ali passed. Look at this. Does that look like it was a movement that was a joke?
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we descend from, but they're not gonna tell you about this. Right? They'll show you pictures of our people dusty with whip marks on their back, hanging from trees and all that type of stuff. But they don't show you us standing together. There was different clans and tribes in here. People that had different. I don't believe this side of what you might think about the Creator. I believe it this way. But we didn't let that divide us back then.
Because y'all still knew who y'all were as a whole.
And we still know, right? And our duty is to return that birthright back to you. You see what I'm saying? Because the leaders that we're looking for is y'all brothers. You see what I'm saying? Y'all the next generation of leaders. You can reach people in your age group. I could do it, but they look at me as I got gray hair in my beard.
Yeah, they're like,
oh, he tripping. Right? But if you wake up, you the one in your group right? That says, you know what, man? We tired of being Negroes, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's stand for something better. You know what I mean? Let's stand for something that's more ancient, you know what I mean, and has more honor attached to it than us doing violence on one another. Because contrary to popular belief, that's not gangster. You want to know what gangster is? Taking care of your community. Opening up businesses and community. That's gangster.
Taking the money that you made and building something on the corner instead of a liquor store.
Come on
government
now.
put there.
Come on now. Come on. Or, right? You know how people like, invoke like mob flicks and Mafia, Scarface and all that type of stuff, right? If you watch Godfather, if you really break that movie down from a nationality perspective, the whole goal of that movie is they was trying to get out of the street life, right? They did what they had to do in the beginning, but they was trying to get out of that and go in politics and take over government. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what you had to do, you know what I mean? Because you might know people that's in all kind of life, walks of life. I do too, right? But the goal is to get us out of that and get us in a position where we speaking truth to power. You know what I'm saying? Like in other words, if something going on in the community, you're supposed to be able to get the city council person on the phone like, yo, I need an audience right now because something crazy going on in your district. That's power. Get the mayor on the phone. That's power. You see what I'm saying? You know, if a little kid get violated or something like that, we supposed to bring the whole community out. You know what I'm saying? To make sure, yo, this is gonna stop. We gonna check this. Look what's going on in Chicago right now. Everybody killing each other left and right because they took all the OGs off the streets.
Yeah.
Right? And without the marching orders down, the young people going crazy. Right? That's military strategy. Noble Ali was not only our prophet, he was a general. He knew how to command his morals. You see? And we still got the marching orders and instructions now. That's why we stay able to do the things that we do and be recognized. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know? So, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite you out. You know, we here, you know what I'm saying, every Friday, every Sunday. Every Friday, 8 o'clock. Every Sunday, starting at 7 if I'm not mistaken. Right? And that's when we got class settings, whatever. And I'm here every day. You know what I'm saying? Since this is my shop right here, so you can feel free to come on through, chop it up, or whatever. We also have literature on the table over there. So if you want to, you read much?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You can take the same topics that we're talking about right now. We got right in the books.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you to believe nothing we're saying. We want you to put it to the test.
I'm in the middle of the mental nessa right now.
That's a tough read. But see, the key to all of those studies is your nationality. Because all that is worthless to you if you think you're black.
Yeah, I never put myself in that black situation. I've always it's always a deeper meaning to it.
Exactly.
Don't nobody ever actually research where they're from. Nobody actually tie back their lineage, and neither do they know what it means.
Indeed.
So
exactly. But brother man, and your name is once again?
Cameron.
My name is Sheik, Heru, Ranesi.
What can I call you for short?
Brother Heru.
Heru.
Yes, sir.
And
Pleasure to meet you.
Like the
Come on now, you read Metal Nessa, you came across that name.
The son of the Osar.
Osar. Exactly. See? So even our names sometimes take on a Kemetic character. You see? Because we're all the Kemetic ones. These brothers are from Hebrew Israelite ancestry, but they proclaim their nationality as Moorish American. We honor our brothers as the Wahabians. We honor our brothers as Clips.
The Hebrew Israelites, didn't they have the 6 star?
That is right there.
Yeah. I was about to throw something. Well, I'm talking about, that's part of our knowledge too.
I know. But see, that's what they did. To teach the so-called gang knowledge, all they did was take this and break it apart. You know what I mean? Like there's a set of bloods in LA, the Blackstone Bloods.
Yeah.
And they asked them what their principles are. They said love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You know what I'm saying? They said the red represents the blood. The stars that's on the bandana represents the constellations. You see what I'm saying? That's more science, right? But what happens is, if you live in a life of more, demonstrates character and morality. You know what I'm saying? So we really about the love of our people and raising them up. So we're not into nothing like, there's going to harm our people. But it starts with you, so you can't harm yourself. Because you got to be the message that you're going to teach them. We say you have to be the message that you bring. That's what I'm saying.
You can't give advice if you haven't eat your peak yet.
Right. Because as a Muslim, one of the worst things you ever would be is a hypocrite. That's a crime in Islam. Like you can't, the word in Arabic is munafiq. You get the title of munafiq, well, the whole community shun you. You know what I'm saying? Because how can you be trusted? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever heard the phrase, word is bond?
Yes.
You know the whole phrase to that?
No, this is
my word is my bond is my life, and I give my life before my word shall fail. See what I'm saying? So, just like we pressed hands, right? That's your bond. So in other words, this is a contract. You know what I'm saying? That means that you're going to lift, the hand was created to come to the assistance of your brother. That's the only reason the hand was created. You see what I'm saying? So this is a contract right here. This is the bond. So in other words, if your brother's in adversity, you assist him. If your sister's in trouble, you forsake her not. That's a contract. You understand what I'm saying? So your word is your bond. Your bond is your life. And you give your life for your word shall fail. So I shouldn't have to write it on a paper. I shouldn't have to track you down. I shouldn't have to take you to court. You gave your word.
All it should be is this.
This is it.
Yes, sir.
Right. I have no reason to not believe this until you show me that you don't live according to your word. You understand what I'm saying? Second principle is truth. It's just the manifested truth right here. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to, I suggest you come in, because if you come and get this more science, the things that you study, you be like, this is where they got that from. You see, you always want to go to the source. You don't want to go to what it became. You want to go to the source of it. That way you get morality.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Y'all gonna see me here for real.
Okay, now is that your word? Islam. And hold your feet on the square. Okay? So basically that's 45 degrees right there, right? Mm-hmm. So that represents, 4 and 5 is 9, which is completion. This represents the foundation of your temple of the perfected man, right? So when you stand, your hand at your side, you're upright, right? See those pillars that are holding those scriptures up right there? See how upright they are?
Yeah.
So you're the pillar of the community. So you stand on your 45, you demonstrate your hand pressed, you look a man in his eyes, you give him your word. You see? And that's good enough for me. If I look in your eyes, I see my forefathers. I know ain't no lie in there, right? And I have to learn to take you at that. You understand what I'm saying? That's what being Moorish is about. That's what it's all about. Okay? So what I want to do is, Brother Muzaki, can you get a brother right here a flyer? And, oh, you already got one?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's that, brother. Thank you for your time. You'll probably see this on like Facebook or YouTube or something. Yeah. Instagram, one of them. But because the whole thing is like, we need to get this truth out. You know what I'm saying? And you can spread the word, let them know, I know where some good brothers is at. You know what I mean? We need to go study. You feel what I'm saying? And you go out there and make the change out there. Because you got to do something with what you learn.
Or you really learn it for no reason.
Exactly. Hoarder of knowledge. What they call a concealer of the truth. Instead of a revealer of the truth. A revealer of the light. See? You have any last questions before you go?
No,
you got some light all on your shirt, brother. What you represent right there, brother?
What this? Oh man, look, take away that name.
Why?
Just all seeing.
Why? What you know about the Illuminati, brother?
Look, all I know is this. I know it's not what it's meant, like what it's actually perceived to be. I actually know that it's something to have you connected with the higher being upstairs. For real, this is a mental fight.
Exactly. The original Illuminati or the original Illuminated ones was your forefathers.
The Moorish community and the Freemasonry.
Well, remember, that's Freemasonry was something we taught the Europeans.
Okay.
Because they had to study what the portions of what we gave them in secrecy. Okay. Right? But we were the original Illuminated ones. We were the ones that went all around the earth giving light. You know what I'm saying? We were the ones that represented the all-seeing eye.
Is that the left or the right?
That's the left. The Ujjah. Right? Same one as right here. You see? All-seeing eye. That represents you. In your Kemetic studies out of the Heru.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But the point is that, you knew everything because no matter where we were all over the planet. Right? So anything any one Moor knew, all Moors knew because we shared the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So that eye inside that pyramid, actually what they did was they took it and bound the eye.
Because I've always thought, why did they take the eye and put it inside of the pyramid when the eye was just supposed to be free?
They concealed the light instead of revealed the light.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So the light is supposed to be all shining. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, it's supposed to be rays of light that descend from the eye to enlighten humanity.
I was supposed to come in here because I've been looking over here for 3 days.
We have a teacher that says that it is not strange, there are no happenings. The law governs all events. You know what I'm saying? So it was ordained that you be here. You see?
I really do appreciate it, brother.
And once again, your name again?
Cameron.
Brother Heru. Stop shaking. Praise the Lord. Come and get your lessons, brother. They're your lessons. They're not ours, they're yours.
They have to be because some just drew me over here. Some just, I didn't have to talk to them when they walked across the street. I could have just went ahead and just walked back to the crib and just peeked in here one day when the lesson wasn't going on. It's like, oh, it's just a barbershop, and just walked out.
Right.
But now I know what actually is in here. It's a movement. And now I can take my studies that I've had at home and actually bring it all together.
Exactly.
The knowledge that I've learned from my OGs, I can actually learn the true meaning behind it.
Exactly. Want to know, like I said, I can't stress enough, the source of where it came from. Because what happens is, the whole thing is supposed to be about you mastering yourself.
Yes.
Right? So if somebody's teaching you something, but you're not mastering you. When a person gives you a part of the truth, they try to control it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
A real, a real OG, I'm using that in a loose term, would be someone, or just a real G, G is the seventh letter, right? Real God, would tell you the things, look, study yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because by studying yourself and finding out who you are, you'll know what you're called to do, right? But if I want to give you partial knowledge, I can convince you to go do this over here. It's on some folly, but it's going to benefit me. You understand what I'm saying? So, the key is always got to know yourself. Know thyself and thy Father God Allah. That's one of our teachings. You see what I'm saying? Because the nearest place you're going to meet Allah, it's not the sky or nothing like that.
Here.
Literally, the nearest place is right here. Right? You heard of the chakras before?
Yes. That's
7 seats of the body?
Yes.
So you have 7 chakras. You have 3 lower, 3 higher, and 1 transitional part, which is your heart.
Yes.
Right? The ancient Egyptians, when they mummified, they took out the different organs and put it in what they call canopic jars. One organ that they didn't take out because they considered it too sacred was the heart.
And that was the one that was it Neb? No, it's not Neb. It's one of the ancients. I don't want to say gods because there were many. It was one of the ancients that actually took your heart when you passed and put it on the scale next to a feather. And if it ever if your heart ever weighed more than that feather, you were automatically banished.
You were consumed by something called the Amit monster, which was your lower self. So in other words, it's like you have two selves. You think you're one person. It's 2 of you. Your lower self and your higher self. You ever have a decision to make and you start warring back and forth about what to do?
Yeah.
Right? Now if you're in your higher vibration, you'll take the higher road.
But if you're lower vibration, it's automatically ready.
Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, everything that harms, that's your lower. Mother of all virtues and the harmonies of right, breathing just, harmonies of life, breathing justice, mercy, love, and right, higher self. So that's your 2 selves, right? So depending on how you feel is where you go. So you've got to learn how to hear without your passions. Watch your feelings. Brothers, we never really taught how to handle what we feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
God is taught to suck it up.
And men are designed to do, not to just talk back and forth. So after the talking back and forth goes so far, we get frustrated and want to do something. And usually we end up hurting stuff.
That's what type of person that I find myself.
What's your astrological sign?
I'm a Libra. That's
What's your birthday?
October 20.
Mine's the 20th. Mine's the 19th.
19?
Yeah.
Right there, we're right. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you're on the cusp of what they call Scorpio, so you definitely, you got to watch it. Because what happens is like you'll get into that vengeful mode and that becomes something else.
See, that's one thing I do have a problem with. If I feel the need if I feel that I've been done wrong, or if somebody that I love has been done wrong, I will search for revenge.
I'm clear, because you're caught between justice and revenge. The scorpion thing, the tail is the scorpion, and the scale is the Libra. See, without going into a deep astrological lesson, like Libra is the only house that doesn't have an animal or human representation. You see what I'm saying? So it's represented by the scales. That's those same scales we were just talking about. That's the 7th house.
Yeah.
That's the number 7. So, you just got to really, focus on knowing who you're going to know. The more you start learning about that, now you'll know how to act. Right? You'll know that everything that you do causes a reverberation in the universe. Right? That will affect everything that's around you. Right? Because the universe is not out there, it's in there.
Exactly. It's just told by the curls in our hair.
Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly. So, but we can't build it all tonight.
Yeah.
Right. So again, brother, been a pleasure. Getting better at that thing, man. Peace and love, brother. Stay in touch now. That's your word.
This is yours.
This brother right
Thank
here.
you.